This is a story about why men should not tell secrets to their wives. There was once a man called Father Kwasi, see but keep silent. He lived happily with his wife and family. They fed on all the produce from his farms and the animals, which he caught when he went hunting. One day, when Kwasi was out hunting, far away in the forest, he came to a drinking pool. He hid behind some bushes and waited for the animals to come and drink. Soon, a small herd of antelopes came down to the water. He was about to shoot when something made him stop. Instead of drinking, the animals took off their skin and laid them on the bank. They turned into beautiful women dressed in fine clothes. He hid behind a tree as they ran past him along the path towards the village. As soon as the women had disappeared, Kwasi went down to the pool. He chose the most beautiful of the skins and took it with him to his hiding place. Then he went to sleep. In the evening, the young women returned to the pool. The sound of their laughter woke Kwasi. The young women took their skins and changed back into antelopes. They ran off into the forest. One beautiful girl remained. She looked everywhere for her skin, but could not find it. Then she sat down on the bank and wept. Kwasi came out of his hiding place. At first, the young woman was terrified, but he spoke to her gently and asked her to return with him to the village and become his second wife. Before she would agree, the girl made a promise to him to tell no one her secrets. Then she followed him to the village. Kwasi told his first wife that the girl had come from a faraway village and that she must be kind to her. He put the antelope skin in a box in his room. The young wife lived happily with her husband, but the first wife was jealous. Time passed. Kwasi's second wife had 3 children. The first wife tried and tried to make Kwasi tell her where the second wife came from. He would not answer, but always said, "Oh, from far away." One day, Kwasi's first wife asked her husband to cut down a palm tree. From its sap, she would make beautiful, wonderful palm wine. It was so good that her husband drank and drank until he became very sleepy. Then his first wife asked her questions again. "Husband dear," she said, "tell me where your second wife came from. I'm very fond of her, and I promise not to tell her I know." "My dear," replied Kwasi, "it is a wonderful story." He told his first wife all about the antelopes. Then he went to sleep. The next day, the 2 women quarreled over food for the second wife's children. The first wife started to shout at the second, "Antelope wife, why don't you take your skin from our husband's room?" She laughed. "Look, here is the key to the box. I took it from him last night while he slept." She held the key out to the antelope's wife. The antelope wife seized the key. She was very angry that her husband had told the first wife the story. She went straight to his room, opened the box, and took out her skin. She took the skin and softened it in water while the first wife watched. Then she put on the skin, turned into an antelope, and leapt into the forest. She went straight to her husband's farm. Her 3 children were with their father on the farm, helping him to weed the yam. The antelope's wife took a stick and beat them. At once, they turned into handsome antelopes as she led them away into the forest. She called over her shoulder, "Goodbye, husband. You told my story and broke your promise. Now, I and my children are free." Kwasi rushed back to his house. He caught his first wife and beat her. He beat her so hard that she ran away from home and went back to her family, taking her own children with her. So, Father Kwasi see but keep silent was left all alone without wives or children. From that time, it has been understood that men should not tell all their secrets to their wives.